flag or a nuke going off in Paris, who knows what, staged by the military-industrial complex, how are they going to get this, and is that a danger?
Well, I think you're exactly right. The only way they would succeed in getting a war against Iran is another false flag attack like 9/11, blaming it on Iran. And, back a couple years ago when that B-52 flew from Minot to Barksdale, as far as I know, there's still possibly one nuclear weapon missing from that bomber. And if the neocons have that, then they could use it in a false flag attack, blame it on Iran, claiming that Iran smuggled it in a suitcase. They can't simulate an intercontinental ballistic missile attack on the United States. That's too complicated. Everybody would know where it came from. And they can't get an ICBM and a launch pad for it to Iran. So I think you're right. A false flag attack is the only way they're going to pull this off. And the thing is that the 9/11 Truth movement is extremely valuable because we're continually letting them know that we're watching. And if they try something else like they did in 9/11, they've got to know that we're watching and we're liable to catch them in, red-handed, and that'll be the end of them. And so that's one of the great values of 9/11 Truth. It is deterring them from this kind of thing. And but I know there are some crazies there who would like to try it anyway.
Well, let's take the Minot, Dakota situation where they flew them down to Louisiana. And, again, the reports are there is a missing nuke. I mean, this was in the news. This happened. And then more than a dozen of the people who were at the bases who blew the whistle committed suicide or died within a week, which adds another layer of evidence that this was an attempt to smuggle a nuke out of the chain of custody with the military. And again, for those who don't understand what me and Dr. Bob Bowman are getting at here, you have to put your mind in the mind put yourself in the mind of the globalist, of the controllers, to realize how they're doing all of this. And they'll never get away with an Iran attack without staging an event. And then now FEMA, these secret documents got leaked. FEMA admits they're real, but is ordering websites to remove them. That in May, they were going to have multiple simulated improvised nuclear device detonations in different parts of the U.S., Clearly, we know they've used drills in the past to smokescreen their real operations. Why are drills so important in and around terror attacks? We saw it on 7/7. We saw it on 9/11. We see it over and over again. Dr. Bob Bowman, why is that so important?
Well, it confuses people who are trying to defend against something. The exercises going on 9/11, of course, kept a lot of our interceptors away from protecting the Northeast Corridor, and also confused the radar and the controllers, and made it much easier for Cheney or whoever to get away with their stand-down order.
And they get to bootleg the actual attack through the drill funding. And if other good elements of the government, 99% not involved, catch them in the act, they can just say it's part of a drill.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is the true story of Valkyrie. The Germans used a government drill program as an attempt to reverse engineer it and overthrow Hitler, but that failed.
Yeah.
Dr. Bob Bowman, we're going to break and come back and continue to discuss false flag terrorism and your concern and time frames and how you think we can stop this. I agree with you that it is essential, that it is vital that 9/11 Truth continue to expand. We've also seen preparatory demonization of 9/11 Truth, claiming we're going to stage terror attack by CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News the last 3 months. as a preparatory event so that they can try to discredit us or maybe even claim we're involved when the attacks take place. All of it's on the table. They're clearly moving in this direction very rapidly. Dr. Bob Bowman's our guest. We'll give you his website on the other side. Stay with us.
Hounded by debt collectors with phone calls and letters? Thinking of calling a debt relief company? Don't. Greedy lawyers and debt companies charge thousands. Why pay when you can get their solution absolutely free with New York Times best-selling author Herb Kay's #1 debt secret, the how-to on stopping the calls without paying the debt companies. Yes, free for a very limited time. Here's Herb Kay.
Don't get ripped off by credit repair companies when I can give you the information you need to do it yourself for free.
Herb Kay was right. His free information helped me stop the calls and settle my debt.
What have you got to lose? Stop the calls now. Get out of debt and have more money. Get Herb Kay's #1 debt secret absolutely free now. Call 800-822-1291. That's 800-822-1291. 800-822-1291.
Are you wondering about your retirement portfolio? Are you confident that the financial advisor is experienced enough to combat climbing interest rates, taxes, and inflation? Stop guessing and go to the expert, Robert Chapman of the International Forecaster. When you subscribe to the International Forecaster, you get Robert Chapman's 45 years of experience and concise investment recommendations. Who needs sugar-coated excuses when you can get the cold hard facts and proven investment leads you can't get anywhere else? For a free introductory copy to Robert Chapman's International Forecaster, subscribe now at theinternationalforecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. Experience the difference. When you subscribe, you can email Robert Chapman directly to obtain investment advice tailored just for you. Don't wait another minute. Subscribe today at theinternationalforecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. That's 877-479-8178.
They helped to create a new world order. We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
If you owe the IRS money you can't pay, then listen carefully, because you already know that the problem won't go away by itself. You can get help today from the leading tax expert in the country, Dan Pilla.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. The IRS isn't going to just forget about you. Right now, the IRS is hiring thousands of tax collectors to go after delinquent accounts just like yours. That's why you need to take action today, and I can help. I take a simple but proven approach to solving your tax debt problem. First, I stabilize collections so you don't have to worry about wage and bank levies. Next, I build a detailed plan to get your debt reduced to the fullest extent possible, sometimes even eliminated. Finally, I work with you every step of the way to get your problem solved once and for all. So call now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-346-6829.
Dan Pilla will solve your tax problem, guaranteed. He's helped thousands of people, and he can help you too. Call us today at 800-346-6829. That's 800-34-NO-TAX.
Dr. Bob Bowman, former head of the Star Wars program, is our guest. He exposed SDI prominently as an offensive sneak attack weapon. We're going to be talking about that with him. And I want him to go as far as he can legally with when he was there in the 70s and early 80s, just how advanced these systems were. And now they're more and more admitting they have these space planes, and that the NASA program we see is just a vestigial front, that the real program is almost entirely Pentagon and military. Dr. Bob Bowman, I mean, amazing information you were just discussing. The fact that you agree with my analysis, they are hyping false flag nuke attacks, saying it's the #1 threat. Obama said that on last Friday at the big D.C. summit. They're now saying domestic groups are going to attack. Bill Clinton's saying domestic groups are going to attack, that the Tea Parties and people should shut up about the banking bailout or we're going to cause a terror attack. I mean, I've seen this over and over again. In my gut, there's no doubt they're moving with domestic attacks to blame it on domestic groups, blowing up federal buildings, and seriously considering detonating a nuke. And